Tell me.
I mean, well, the worst guest we've ever had, because people used to ask me who the worst guest was.
Yes, always.
And I never had an answer, because you don't want to offend anyone.
Yes.
Graham Norton, born Graham William Walker on April 4th, 1963, in Dublin, Ireland, has become one of the most recognizable faces on television, known for his sharp wit, charming personality, and unique ability to draw out the most interesting stories from his guests. Growing up in a lively Irish household, Graham showed an early flair for humor, storytelling, and performance, often entertaining friends and family with his impressions and jokes. His path to becoming a beloved talk show host was not straightforward. Like many aspiring performers, he faced challenges and setbacks along the way. He attended University College Cork, studying English and French, but his heart was never fully in academia. Instead, he dreamed of performing on stage and making people laugh professionally. Eventually, he made a bold decision to leave college and move to London, a city full of opportunities but also full of competition and hardship. There, he took on odd jobs while studying at the Central School of Speech and Drama, all the while honing his craft and learning the skills that would later make him an exceptional host. Graham's career took off slowly, started with performances in small comedy clubs and theaters, where he learned the value of timing, improvisation, and connecting with an audience. His big break in television came in the mid-1990s when he stood in as a guest host on shows like Channel 5's The Jack Doherty Show, demonstrating a quick-thinking personality and infectious energy that immediately captured attention. From that moment, it became clear that Graham Norton had a natural gift for making people feel comfortable, a talent that would become his signature trait in later years. This gift allowed him to create memorable interviews that were lively, engaging, and often hilarious, turning ordinary conversations into moments that audiences could not stop talking about. Over time, he became known not just for his humor, but also for his empathy, his sharp observations, and his unique ability to balance outrageous comedy with genuine curiosity about the people he hosted. Today, his name is synonymous with celebrity talk shows that feel informal, spontaneous, and sometimes delightfully unpredictable. Despite hosting hundreds of celebrities over the years, Graham Norton has occasionally encountered guests who tested his patience, challenged his wit, or simply refused to engage in a kind of playful banter that has made his show famous. In revealing the 6 guests he found most difficult, he provides a rare glimpse into the behind-the-scenes challenges of television hosting, showing that even someone as skilled and experienced as he is cannot make every interaction smooth or enjoyable. These moments highlight not only the pressures of live television, but also the remarkable talent required to manage personalities, egos, and unexpected situations, all while keeping the audience entertained. As we explore the stories of these 6 guests, it becomes clear that fame, talent, or status does not always guarantee an easy or fun interview. Each guest brought their own challenges, whether through disinterest, excessive energy, unpredictability, or refusal to participate, providing fascinating lessons about human behavior, celebrity culture, and the art of hosting. By sharing these experiences, Graham Norton not only entertains his audience, but also offers insight into the complexities of communication, charisma, and performance in the world of television, reminding viewers that behind every smooth broadcast lies hard work, patience, and sometimes a struggle to keep the conversation alive. Graham Norton's journey from a young, witty Irish boy to one of the most beloved television hosts in the world was marked by determination, risk-taking, and willingness to embrace the unexpected. After leaving University College Cork, he moved to London with nothing but his passion for performance and the belief that he could succeed in the competitive world of entertainment. Life in London was not easy at first. He faced financial struggles, living in small apartments and taking on odd jobs to pay the bills, all while dedicating himself to perfecting his comedic craft. Norton enrolled at the Central School of Speech and Drama, where he refined his skills in acting, voice modulation, timing, and improvisation, skills that would later become crucial in his work as a talk show host. During this period, he performed in small theaters and comedy clubs, slowly gaining experience and recognition. Audiences responded to his quick wit, engaging storytelling, and unique ability to connect with people through humor. Norton's comedy style was distinctive. It mixed self-deprecation with observational humor and a bold, sometimes outrageous edge. Unlike many performers who rely solely on scripted material, he thrived on spontaneity, improvisation, and reacting in the moment, skills that would later define his approach to live interviews. By the early 1990s, Graham Norton had begun performing stand-up comedy in larger venues, attracting attention for his sharp insights, energy, and charm. Television producers took notice of his natural charisma, leading to his first real break in 1996 when he stood in as a guest host on Channel 5's The Jack Doherty Show. Audiences were captivated by his ability to engage celebrities and draw out stories in a way that felt effortless yet compelling. Unlike traditional interviewers, Norton was not content with asking predictable questions. He wanted to uncover surprising, funny, or revealing answers that made viewers feel as if they were part of the conversation. His early television appearances showed a rare combination of intelligence, humor, and empathy. He could make even the shyest guests feel comfortable, while simultaneously keeping the energy high and the audience entertained. These qualities set him apart from other hosts, establishing him as someone who could transform a simple interview into a memorable, often viral, television moment. Norton's rise was also fueled by his courage to embrace his identity openly. Coming out as gay early in his career, at a time when acceptance in mainstream media was limited, required bravery and confidence. Rather than hiding who he was, he allowed his personality, wit, and authenticity to shine, winning the respect of viewers and colleagues alike. This authenticity became one of his defining traits, making audiences feel as though they were getting to know the real Graham Norton rather than just a polished television persona. By the late 1990s, Norton had earned a reputation not just as a comedian, but as a performer who could handle the pressures of live television, manage difficult situations, and create moments that people remembered long after the show ended. His career path, from struggling performer to a rising star in television, serves as a testament to resilience, persistence, and the value of embracing both challenges and opportunities. Every setback, awkward audience interaction, and moment of uncertainty during those early years helped prepare him for the later stage of his career, hosting some of the biggest celebrities in the world on his own talk show, where charm, timing, and patience would be tested repeatedly. This foundation was critical because, as Norton would later reveal, even the most skilled host cannot control the energy, mood, or attitude of every guest. Some celebrities were cooperative, playful, and charming, making the show a delight. Others were uncooperative, overly serious, unpredictable, or simply disinterested, creating awkward moments that challenged Norton's wit, patience, and professionalism. Over time, these experiences would not only test his abilities, but also give him stories, insights, and reflections that provide a fascinating look behind the curtain of celebrity television. By learning how to navigate different personalities, Graham Norton became not just a talk show host, but an expert in human interaction, reading moods, and responding with humor and intelligence, a skill set that would eventually allow him to manage even the most challenging guests with grace and professionalism. That would be why the late 1990s, Graham Norton's persistence and unique comedic voice had finally begun to pay off. In 1998, he was given the opportunity to host his own show on Channel 4, titled So Graham Norton. This program marked a turning point in his career, allowing him to fully showcase the wit, charm, and spontaneity that made him a rising star in the comedy and television world. The format of So Graham Norton was unconventional and refreshing compared to typical talk shows of time. Instead of strictly structured interviews, the show emphasized lively conversation, playful banter, and moments of unpredictability. Guests would often sit together, interact with one another, and engage in lighthearted challenges, giving viewers the sense that they were witnessing genuine, unscripted interactions rather than carefully orchestrated television. Norton's quick thinking and sharp humor shone through in every episode, whether teasing a celebrity about a recent scandal, coaxing amusing stories out of otherwise reserved guests, or responding spontaneously to unexpected moments. He demonstrated an uncanny ability to keep the conversation flowing while making everyone feel at ease. One of the most notable aspects of his hosting style was his emphasis on empathy alongside humor. Unlike many talk show hosts who might dominate the conversation or rely solely on prepared jokes, Norton had a rare gift for reading people. He could sense discomfort, hesitation, or tension in a guest and respond in ways that gently encouraged participation without causing embarrassment. This ability made him particularly effective at handling high-profile celebrities, who often have large egos or carefully crafted public personas. However, It was also the foundation for understanding when a guest might be challenging or difficult. The relaxed, spontaneous format of So Graham Norton also allowed for moments that were bold, outrageous, or downright hilarious. Celebrity interactions were often unscripted, giving rise to scenes that could become viral long before social media made such moments common. Audiences were drawn not just to the celebrity gossip or humor, but to the sense of unpredictability. Viewers never quite knew what might happen on the red sofa, and this excitement helped cement the show's popularity. Norton's clever combination of charm, wit, and audience engagement quickly won critical acclaim and a loyal fan base. He became known for turning awkward or tense moments into comedy gold, often through playful redirection or gentle teasing, and his signature style became a blueprint for future talk shows. So Graham Norton's success led to additional projects, including the show v. Graham Norton, further solidifying his reputation as one of television's most inventive and engaging hosts. By this time, he had developed a clear understanding of what made certain guests enjoyable, challenging, or even exasperating to interview. Some celebrities were naturally witty, outgoing, and willing to play along, creating a smooth and fun conversation that delighted both studio audiences and viewers at home. Others, however, presented a very different kind of challenge. These were guests who were overly serious, disinterested, unpredictable, or simply did not mesh with the high-energy style of the show. Norton has admitted that these moments required not just skill, but patience, humor, and sometimes a bit of improvisational genius. It is from these experiences that he eventually compiled a list of 6 guests he found most difficult, offering viewers a rare behind-the-scenes look at the challenges even a seasoned host faces. The show's format also encouraged camaraderie among guests, allowing personalities to bounce off each other in ways that could be both entertaining and unpredictable. While this approach created many of the show's most memorable moments, it also heightened the challenges posed by certain guests. If a celebrity was unwilling to engage, excessively nervous, or simply not interested in the playful chaos of the show, it made the host's job exponentially harder. These dynamics are what made Graham Norton's interviews so fascinating. The audience could see both the charm of the host and the varying personalities of the guests, sometimes leading to moments of hilarity, sometimes to tension, and occasionally to awkward discomfort. By mastering this balance, Norton became not just a talk show host, but an expert in human interaction, understanding the subtleties of conversation, timing, and audience expectation. His ability to navigate these challenges while keeping the show entertaining is what ultimately set him apart and paved the way for the next phase of his career, hosting the Graham Norton Show on the BBC, which would elevate him to global recognition and bring him into contact with some of the most memorable and occasionally difficult guests of his career. Even the most experienced and charismatic hosts sometimes encounter guests who are exceptionally difficult to handle, and Graham Norton is no exception. Over the years, he has hosted hundreds of celebrities, but some appearances stood out as particularly challenging, leaving him struggling to maintain the lively energy that defines his show. One such guest was the actor Rourke, whose presence on the red sofa exemplified the challenges a reluctant or unengaged celebrity can present. Unlike high-energy guests who thrive on playful interaction and quick banter, Rourke's demeanor was noticeably reserved and distant from the very beginning of the interview. His answers were short, often monosyllabic, and he showed minimal interest in engaging with either Norton or the other guests on the show. Body language, too, communicated his lack of enthusiasm. He leaned back in his chair, avoided eye contact, and appeared disengaged, giving the impression that he was only there out of obligation rather than a desire to entertain. For Norton, who is renowned for his ability to coax stories and laughter out of even the most reserved personalities, this presented a significant challenge. The usually effortless flow of conversation was interrupted by long pauses and awkward silences, forcing Norton to ask multiple follow-up questions to elicit even a minimal response. What could have been a lively, entertaining segment became a test of patience, improvisation, and skill. Yet, even in this situation, Norton's professionalism shone through. He maintained a friendly, humorous demeanor, working hard to fill the gaps and keep viewers engaged, demonstrating why he is widely regarded as one of the most adept hosts in television. While some audience members may have felt secondhand embarrassment during this interview, others gained insight into the subtleties of human behavior and celebrity culture, seeing that even stars can have moments of withdrawal, disinterest, or discomfort under the bright lights of a talk show. Another notable example was Mark Wahlberg's infamous 2013 appearance, which presented a completely different type of challenge. Whereas Mickey Rourke's difficulty came from being withdrawn and unengaged, Wahlberg's challenges stemmed from overengagement, unpredictability, and inebriation. From the moment he arrived on the red sofa, it became clear that his energy levels were off the charts and difficult to manage. He was loud, erratic, and frequently interrupted both Norton and fellow guest Sarah Silverman, making the conversation unpredictable and sometimes chaotic. Wahlberg's attempt at humor were wild and often inappropriate for the controlled yet playful atmosphere of the show, and his decision to climb onto Norton's lap during the interview, wrapping his arm around him while delivering slurred jokes, created a level of discomfort rarely seen on television. Norton, ever professional, managed to maintain composure and respond with humor, but it was clear that even his skill could not fully control the unpredictable situation. The audience experienced a mix of reactions. Some found the episode hilarious in a chaotic, can't-look-away way, while others were uneasy, unsure whether to laugh or feel secondhand embarrassment. In the aftermath, Wahlberg admitted that he had enjoyed a few drinks prior to the show, explaining his unusually energetic behavior. But the episode remained a memorable example of how even the most charming stars can create situations that challenge a host's wit, patience, and improvisational skills. Together, the experiences with Rourke and Wahlberg highlight two very different types of difficult guests, one who is disinterested and withdrawn, and another who is overenthusiastic and unpredictable. Both types require Norton to adapt his approach, demonstrating the versatility and quick thinking that have made him such a beloved television personality. While the audience may focus on the awkward or amusing aspects of these interviews, behind the scenes, these moments serve as a reminder of the complexities of hosting, where a single guest behavior can dramatically affect the tone, energy, and flow of a show. Through these encounters, viewers not only see the unpredictability of live television, but also gain a deeper appreciation for Norton's talent, resilience, and ability to turn even the most challenging situations into entertaining, watchable moments. By sharing these stories, Norton provides insight into the behind-the-scenes reality of talk shows, showing that managing celebrity personalities is a nuanced and often difficult task, requiring a balance of humor, patience, empathy, and adaptability that few can achieve as Graham Norton's career progressed and his show reached an even larger audience. He continued to encounter guests who tested his hosting skills in unique ways. While some celebrities are naturally charismatic and quick-witted, others present challenges that require extraordinary patience, clever redirection, and an acute sense of timing. Robert De Niro, one of Hollywood's most respected actors, is known for his intense performances and dedication to craft. But on the Graham Norton Show, he exemplified the kind of guest who is notoriously hard to interview. De Niro's reputation for being reserved and carefully measured was evident from the moment he settled onto the iconic red sofa. Unlike other stars who went to the studio ready to entertain, he was quiet, cautious, and deliberate in his responses. His answers were often short, precise, and minimal, offering only glimpses into his thoughts and feelings. Norton, whose approach relies heavily on playful teasing, improvisation, and encouraging guests to open up, found this particularly challenging. The conversation required extra effort, as Norton had to adapt his usual style, asking multiple questions in different ways, and attempting to coax anecdotes without pressuring De Niro. Even with his skill and experience, he faced long pauses and a subdued energy that contrasted sharply with the typically lively rhythm of the show. However, Norton's professionalism and empathetic approach turned what could have been a stiff or dull interview into an intriguing glimpse at a legendary actor operating on his own terms. For the audience, this moment was a rare opportunity to observe De Niro's thoughtful, deliberate side, demonstrating that not all entertainment comes from exuberance or humor. Sometimes, the subtlety of presence and restraint can leave a lasting impression. In contrast, Kevin Costner presented a different but equally challenging dynamic. Costner, known for his calm, stoic persona and commanding presence in film, often appeared on the show with a demeanor that was serious, composed, and less reactive to Norton's rapid-fire humor. While he was not rude or disruptive, his reserved energy created a unique challenge for the host. Norton thrives on interactions that are lively, playful, and spontaneous, but Costner's approach required a delicate balance. engaging him without forcing participation or diminishing his natural composure. During the interview, Costner frequently answered with matter-of-fact statements, often missing the playful humor or irony embedded in Norton's questions. This created moments that were awkward yet fascinating, as the contrast between the host's energetic style and the guest's measured calmness produced a tension that was difficult to navigate. Norton has often commented on the importance of understanding a guest's personality and adapting to their comfort level, and the Costner interview illustrates this perfectly. Unlike overenthusiastic or withdrawn guests, reserved stars like Costner require a subtle and patient approach, where timing, phrasing, and tone are critical to keeping the conversation flowing without creating discomfort. For viewers, these episodes were compelling not because of outlandish antics or comedy, but because they offered insight into how different personalities respond to the unique environment of a live talk show. Norton's ability to manage these dynamics, maintaining professionalism while keeping the audience entertained, demonstrates the breadth of his hosting talent. Both De Niro and Costner serve as examples of guests who do not conform to typical talk show expectations, yet their presence provides valuable lessons in communication, empathy, and adaptability. They show that being a successful host is not simply about humor or charisma, but about reading subtle cues, adjusting to different energies, and creating an environment where guests feel both respected and engaged. These interviews also highlight the variety of challenges that can arise on live television, from highly reserved individuals to those who are overly measured or cautious. By reflecting on these experiences, Graham Norton provides audiences with a behind-the-scenes understanding of what it takes to host a successful, globally recognized show, reminding viewers that every interaction with a guest is unique and requires skill, patience, and insight to navigate effectively. While Graham Norton has encountered a wide range of personalities throughout his career, the experiences with Harvey Weinstein and Daryl Hannah stand out as some of the most difficult and memorable. Both guests created interviews that tested Norton's patience, improvisation, and professionalism in ways that few others could. Harvey Weinstein, long before his notorious fall from grace, appeared on the Graham Norton Show at a time when he was considered one of Hollywood's most powerful and influential producers. Even then, those close to the industry had begun to notice traits of arrogance and dominance that made interacting with him challenging. On the show, Weinstein frequently interrupted Norton and other guests, steering conversations toward his own accomplishments and away from the playful, spontaneous banter that characterized the program. While he was not openly hostile, his controlling presence created a tense atmosphere that required Norton to carefully navigate every question and response. Balancing professionalism with the need to maintain the show's humor and energy became a delicate task. In hindsight, Norton has reflected on this episode as one of the more unsettling moments of his career, noting that even subtle behaviors, such as dominating the conversation or disregarding other participants, can create discomfort on set. The interview, when viewed today with knowledge of Weinstein's misconduct, now stands as a stark reminder how certain personalities can overshadow a show's intended tone, leaving both the host and audience navigating an uneasy dynamic. In contrast, Daryl Hannah presented a very different but equally challenging scenario. Unlike guests who are overly assertive or unpredictable, Hannah's difficulties stem from detachment and lack of engagement. According to Norton, her responses were minimal, often limited to one-word answers, and long, awkward silences punctuated the conversation. It was as if she'd been dragged onto the show against her will, with little interest in interacting with either Norton or the other guests. This lack of participation posed a significant challenge for a host whose style relies on lively energy, playful questioning, and the ability to coax stories from celebrities. Despite employing every trick in his repertoire, humor, gentle teasing, and clever redirection, Norton found it nearly impossible to get Hannah to contribute meaningfully to the conversation. The tension was palpable, and the episode became a study in patience, improvisation, and the limits of hosting skill. Yet, even in these most difficult situations, Norton's professionalism and quick thinking prevented the interviews from completely derailing. He maintained his composure, continued to engage with other guests, and did his best to keep the audience entertained. Both the Weinstein and Hannah interviews highlight the diverse challenges a host can face. One guest dominates with overbearing confidence, while another withdraws entirely, refusing to participate. Each requires a different approach, And in both cases, Norton's skill, empathy, and adaptability were on full display. These experiences also serve as a reminder that talk shows, despite their polished appearance, are inherently unpredictable, and the interaction between host and guest can greatly influence the tone and success of an episode. For viewers, these interviews provide more than just entertainment. They offer insight into the subtle dynamics of conversation, personality, and influence, showing how human behavior can shape even a well-planned show. Norton's reflections on these moments reveal not only the difficulties of handling certain personalities, but also the depth of his talent as a host. By managing such contrasting challenges, whether an overly controlling figure like Weinstein or a disengaged guest like Hannah, he demonstrates the versatility and professionalism that have made him one of the most respected and admired figures in television. Ultimately, these experiences remind audiences that even seasoned hosts face moments of tension and unpredictability, and it is the ability to navigate these moments with skill, patience, and humor that separates an extraordinary host from an ordinary one. Graham Norton's career offers more than just entertainment. It provides a masterclass in resilience, empathy, and the art of human connection. Hosting a globally recognized talk show requires more than charm and humor. It requires patience, adaptability, and the ability to navigate a wide range of personalities under high-pressure conditions. Through his decades-long career, Norton has shown that even the most talented hosts face challenges when guests are unpredictable, disinterested, or disruptive. The experiences with Mickey Rourke, Mark Wahlberg, Robert De Niro, Kevin Costner, Harvey Weinstein, and Daryl Hannah highlight the breadth of these challenges, each requiring a unique approach to maintain the flow, humor, and energy of the show. In some cases, like Rourke and Hannah, the challenge lies in a guest's withdrawal, requiring Norton to patiently coax engagement without forcing it, balancing humor with empathy. In other cases, like Wahlberg and Weinstein, the challenge comes from over-assertiveness or erratic behavior, demanding quick thinking, tact, and the ability to redirect conversations without alienating viewers or other guests. These experiences underscore a fundamental truth about hosting. Success is rarely about controlling the situation entirely. Instead, it is about observing, understanding, and adapting to human behavior in real time. Norton's skill lies not only in his wit, but also in his capacity to read people, sense discomfort, and respond in ways that maintain professionalism while preserving entertainment value. His approach demonstrates that hosting is as much about psychology as it is about comedy, and his career provides insight into the complexities of human interaction in high-profile, public settings. Beyond the immediate challenges of managing difficult guests, Norton's career reflects the importance of authenticity and resilience. From his early days in London, struggling financially and honing his craft in small clubs, to his rise as a beloved talk show host, he has consistently embraced his individuality, humor, and empathy. Coming out as gay early in his career, a courageous act in a time of limited public acceptance, showed his commitment to authenticity, which became a defining characteristic both on and off the screen. This authenticity resonates with audiences and allows him to navigate even tense or awkward interviews with grace, maintaining credibility and charm in every situation. Moreover, the stories of his most difficult guests provide valuable lessons about unpredictability and humility in the world of television and beyond. No matter how skilled or experienced a host may be, human behavior is inherently variable, and managing interpersonal dynamics requires constant attention, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. For viewers, these episodes are more than amusing anecdotes. They offer a glimpse into challenges behind the camera, revealing that live television is a complex interplay of timing, personality, and improvisation. They also highlight the resilience required to succeed in a public-facing career, where each interaction is scrutinized and the stakes can be high. Ultimately, Graham Norton's handling of difficult guests, along with a consistent professionalism and charm, underscores why he is one of the most respected figures in television history. He has demonstrated that challenges, rather than being obstacles, can become opportunities to showcase skill, creativity, and empathy. The moments that tested him, whether an unengaged Mickey Rourke, a chaotic Mark Wahlberg, a reserved Robert De Niro, a stoic Kevin Costner, a domineering Harvey Weinstein, or a detached Daryl Hannah, have all contributed to the depth of his expertise and the enduring appeal of his show. They remind both audiences and aspiring hosts that success in television is not solely about charisma or scripted performance, but about connecting with people, understanding nuances, and adapting to the unpredictable flow of real-life interaction. Graham Norton's career is a testament to these principles, and his reflections on the most difficult guests he has ever hosted offer a rare and insightful look into what it truly takes to excel in the world of live entertainment, humor, and celebrity interviews. Graham Norton's influence extends far beyond his studio in London, reaching audiences around the globe and redefining what a modern talk show can be. The Graham Norton Show is not merely a platform for celebrity interviews. It is a cultural phenomenon that has shaped expectations for humor, spontaneity, and audience engagement in television. Unlike traditional talk shows, which often rely on rigid formats, pre-scripted interviews, and formal question-and-answer sessions, Norton's approach emphasizes